there, TMKR here. I've had about a week and a half now to get a feel for Gran Turismo 7 between work and sleep and all that boring real-world crap, and I have to say, this is a fantastic game. Of course, no game is without its flaws, and GT7 is no exception. I have a lot to talk about from my first impressions, so buckle up and let's get after it. First and foremost, I have to mention that this game is beautiful. The cars, the lighting, the scenery, it's all next level. I'm playing on PS5, and when watching the replays and cinematics, it often feels like I'm watching actual video. It's stunning, there's no getting around it. If looking at beautiful cars and scenery is your thing, then GT7 has got you covered. Let's talk about the gameplay. My honest expectation was that this would be a polished and updated version of GT Sport with a bunch of added features and content, mostly centered around a single-player story or career mode. With that in mind, I fully expected it to be more game and less sim, but somehow it's more of both. The handling of the cars has taken a huge step forward. The cars don't feel as understeery as they did in GT Sport, and you now get a much better feel for any given car through force feedback in the wheel, and even through the haptic feedback on the controller. Not only is it a more immersive experience, but the grip limit seems to be much more defined and a lot less forgiving when you step over it. The visuals, the driving physics, definitely much more polished than I expected. The sound design is incredible, and the dynamic weather is both awesome to look at and challenging to manage. Of course, the main campaign of the game is a single-player gauntlet of races against AI. For some reason, most of your racing career is centered around an inexplicable need to impress a cafe owner, but we'll let that slide. It's a reasonably creative alternative to just having a list of events to check off one at a time. The AI is a little bit better than in GT Sport, but still pretty dumb. I end up taking corners offline a lot to avoid being brake checked at the apexes. It's a step in the right direction, but hopefully the upcoming overhaul comes sooner than later. There's some rubber banding in the career races, which can be a little immersion breaking, but I guess it helps to keep the races more competitive. If you're not familiar with the terminology, rubber banding is a game mechanic where AI cars are slower the further ahead of you they are, and faster the further behind. Alongside the main career, there are challenge events to complete, as well as license tests that you'll get to slog through to unlock higher levels of racing. This seems to be a part of the game that a lot of people really enjoy, but I could honestly take it or leave it. For the most part, the list of modern race cars is the same as GT Sport. I fully expected to see updated versions of a lot of these cars. Where's the C8 Corvette? Why is the Porsche RSR the 2017 model? It seems lazy in a way that's really out of place when compared to everything else that went into this game. I hope that this is an indication that we'll be getting a ton of additional content and updates. Hopefully it'll be free to unlock in the game and not be presented as paid DLC or as microtransactions. Speaking of microtransactions, it feels a little bit trashy to me that a $70 game asks me to buy more credits with real money every time I spend, earn, or win some. I don't know, maybe I'm being nitpicky. If that kind of thing doesn't bother you, then maybe consider becoming a patron via the Patreon link in the description. I'm not starving or anything, I just do this as a hobby, and any funds raised from it will go toward hardware and software to help me make better content for you faster. Okay, so I've complained a bit about it, but Gran Turismo 7 really is a fantastic game. I haven't gotten into the online gameplay yet because it seems terribly unbalanced and unappealing to me right now, but I'm pretty confident that that's just growing pains. GT Sport released in a similar state and was pretty quickly transformed into an amazing gameplay experience. So, final thoughts. If you haven't bought the game yet and want to know if you should, my answer is a resounding yes, but with a caveat. If you want to dig into the career mode and unlock all the cars and tracks and licenses you can, then we're on the same page, so no need to wait. If you're really only interested in the online racing and esports side of the game, you may want to hold out for a bit and keep an eye on player reviews like this until PD gets it ironed out. Hopefully it won't be too long, because I look forward to seeing you on track. A few more things you should know before I go. You can't sell cars. They're yours forever, even if you have dozens of the same model already. Modifications are specific to each car and also cannot be sold. You need to buy every set of tires you might expect to need for each and every car, or else they won't be available to you when you're ready to race. You may need to grind a bit and repeat races to build your bank, but if you budget well, it's not too bad. Some of these might feel like big negatives, but they honestly don't take away from the game much. So there you go, my honest thoughts on Gran Turismo 7 thus far. Remember to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this and found it helpful. It doesn't just help to grow my young channel, but also helps more awesome viewers like you to find this content and keep the conversation going. Check out one of these videos I picked out for you, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, I really do appreciate it. Have a great week. Sorry it took a while to get this video to you. I've had this script done for a few days now, but I've been very sick and also had a lot going on this week, so thanks for your patience. I'll catch you again soon.